What is going on, Alpha Hunters? Hopefully, everybody's having a very wonderful Hump Day Wednesday. Yeah, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was wrong. So, I kind of thought we would be somewhat bullish going into earnings for NVDA today, Wednesday, after the bell. And not to say that we won't be. I mean, we might be. But definitely seeing a lot more weakness than I thought we would. Currently, SPY trading down. Currently down about 1/3% from the open. Pretty much a flat open, a little bit of a gap down there. But trading down here over the past hour and a half to start the day. Qs, we are seeing quite a bit of weakness. And we did have a little bit of a gap down, but yeah, I mean, we just started trading lower almost initially. A little bit sideways here, a little bit of bounce, rolled over. Now, what's interesting, what's going on right now is, well, we are now trading below yesterday's low right there. So, interesting. Q's weakness going into NVIDIA today. All right. Which I believe the implied volatility for NVIDIA on earnings is plus minus 10%. So, probably not a bad day to be maybe be selling some NVIDIA options. IWM. Kind of flat, a little bit negative, had a pretty good gap down, pretty decent gap down. And it just traded higher. All right. DIA looking pretty good, nice little gap down, traded higher, kind of pulled back, bounced. Not looking too bad, a little bit positive there, not much. RSP also a little bit positive, kind of flat, a little bit of gap down, traded higher, kind of sideways. That's kind of how things look intraday. As far as how things look on the daily picture, yeah, kind of just more of a sideways, not really doing too much of anything. I think we'll probably start to see some movement once we get through NVIDIA's earnings. So Thursday, Friday, probably be somewhat decent. Okay. DIA. Don't forget, we'll also get jobs numbers tomorrow morning. So the weekly stuff. The DIA kind of just sideways up here, not looking too bad. IWM still kind of on its little bit of a pullback, maybe sideways here the next day or two. I mean, if you like a trade, I think I'm starting to look for the bullish continuation here. Maybe not bad. Qs. Well. Everything else is running bullish. Qs breaking down. Kind of talked about it on Monday, starting the week. Kind of looking for that move on the Qs where they trade lower and everything else is kind of flat or trending up, and we're still seeing that here. I thought this would maybe happen over the next month to 4 months kind of look, but it is starting to be a little bit concerning how much weakness we are seeing here in the Qs area. I wouldn't really want to be straight saying we're not going to. Maybe you can see another little bounce here, but you got to really not like this this bearish move here on the Qs that we've had continuing today. I mean, we're down a little bit over 1% right now, so be curious to see how we end out the day, and then maybe how things look tomorrow morning. Because and here's the thing: is if any NVIDIA comes out tomorrow or today on earnings, and they say anything, SPY kind of flat, and they say anything about slowing of growth in AI chips or anything like that, yeah, might see the floodgates open. But we're not seeing the bearishness roll over here in the SPY quite yet. I mean, we're just kind of still just consolidating from that huge run that we had throughout most of the middle part of August. So, I still think we'll probably have like one more push on the markets. But, man, you got to really not like how much the Qs are just lagging behind so stinking much. I mean, the RSP looking pretty good, but, yeah, the Qs just not looking good, man. So, I think we are starting to see a little bit more of that change, right? So, anyways, I don't expect NVIDIA to kind of come out and say anything horrible, which, here's a look at NVIDIA, still just kind of sideways, sitting right on top of that 10 EMA. So, I mean, if they come out and say great things about AI and demand, which I kind of expect they would, mostly because all these big tech companies have to continue to develop AI or they're going to have irrelevance in like 10 years. So a lot of these big tech companies are, that are building out this AI stuff, to them, and where investors are, in my opinion, a lot of these investors are wrong. A lot of these investors are chasing those AI names, and I don't think that's the way to go, because that's going to be a relevance thing in like, maybe 10 years, but not here over the next couple of years as they build out the infrastructure for it. So, yeah, I think we'll probably continue to see weakness in a lot of those other names that are building out the AI stuff. But anyways, we'll talk about NVIDIA tech earnings tomorrow. VIX kind of flat, just hanging out as we get to NVIDIA day. Okay. All right. DXY, dollar bouncing very nicely. Okay, so it did have a hard time finally breaking through this level. It kind of makes sense, right? We kind of steamrolled right down to that level pretty quickly, especially here over the past like 2 weeks. So maybe we'll see more of a bounce. We spent a couple days there, so we'll see. GLD, a little bit of a gap down, kind of pulled right into that 10 EMA there. Doesn't look too bad. Starting to get really tight. Might just see it lift off, just take off, and be out of here. 10-year yield. 10-year yield, not looking too bad. Just starting to get really tight under this 10 EMA. So when we pop this, we tried to pop it yesterday, right? We got the little upper wick, but we didn't continue the breakdown from the upper wick yesterday. We didn't reverse and keep trading lower there on yield. So if it kind of seems like we're going to have a pop through these moving averages that obviously we're getting compressed under, and be curious to see how much we kind of pop there on at least the 10 year. As far as the 2 year, the 2 year is continuing lower. The 30 year, yeah, starting to get a little bit compressed here. Okay, so the 10 and 2 inversion, 10 and 2 inversion. It is getting close. It is getting real close to uninverting. Okay, we'll see if it uninverts by the end of the week. All right, as far as HYG, kind of flat, not really doing a whole lot. All right. LQD, flat, not really doing a whole lot. TLT, kind of flat, not doing a whole lot. TLT kind of seems like it wants to roll over, but it might not. This kind of has a little bit of a, oh my goodness. Let me see here. There we go. It's a little bit more flat. That's what I was looking for. Kind of like a little wedge kind of action there. It's getting tight in there. Getting kind of tight. All right, as far as sector rotation, we got tech, lower end of the day. Yeah, and you really see it here over the past 40 minutes or so, really kind of dropping off. Discretionaries, communications, also underperforming. So all the big tech sectors underperforming. Energy's outperforming. Materials, staples, real estate, industrials, healthcare outperforming. Utilities and financials are the higher end of the day. Okay. As far as intraday price action, we got financials doing pretty good intraday. Healthcare, utilities, energies, industrials, materials, all doing pretty good. Real estate, staples outperforming. Communications, discretionaries, and yeah, tech. You can see they're all kind of just lagging behind their intraday. Especially tech, man, over the past 40 minutes, really kind of lagging behind. So SMCI stock plunged as much as 25% on Wednesday after the company said it would delay the filing of its annual report for the fiscal year that ended June 30th. Whoa, the announcement comes a day after a short seller, Hindenburg Research, claimed, among other things, accounting manipulation at the artificial intelligence high flyer. Wow, yeah. Hindenburg claimed that despite a $17.5 million settlement in August 2020 with SEC following an inquiry for widespread accounting violations, Supermicro's business practices did not improve, and senior executives who had left amid the scandal were later rehired. Wow. Yeah, that's kind of sus. The report quoted a former salesperson. Almost all of them are back. Almost all the people that were let go that were the cause of the malfeasance. Even after the SEC settlement, pressure to meet quotas pushed salespeople to stuff the channel with distributors using partial shipments or by shipping defective products around quarter end, per our interviews with former employees and customers. Wow.